My name is Valeria Ann Watson. I'm an artist, and I also go by Pirate Queen Indigo Cat.
Can you tell me a little about the highlights of your spiritual journey?
Well, the main thing is what brought me here to Bucharest, which is Mary Magdalene.
And what inspiration may you have from Mary Magdalene then?
I notice a lot of women are being called to Mary Magdalene, and it's new to me, and it's an age that women are needed in roles, in power positions, and to use power in a different way, in compassion, consent, and compersion. Compersion is the feeling of happiness that one can feel at the pleasure and the happiness of other people. It's the opposite of jealousy and resentment.
What do you think of the legends in this part of France?
Well, the thing that excited me is there's a lot of mysteries. So there's a lot of little truths that creep out, but I wanted to feel what the women who've been to this area, the wise women like Mary Magdalene that have been to this area, why are they calling me here? What is it how is this gonna sew together the life that I've made thus far? And I think it has a big part being here, a big part meeting you.
What's your earliest spiritual influences?
Well, I was born Southern Baptist, so Christian, and was introduced to Jesus when I was a little girl. And I always could see him and talk to him. So basically, I feel like Jesus took my hand, or I took Jesus' hand, and when I met Buddha or meeting Oshun or any other deities, I was like, I had something to compare. Yes, this is a being that's in the realm where Jesus is. That's just where I hang out. So after the Baptist church, probably the next big influence was Elizabeth Clare Prophet and the teachings of the Ascended Masters, because I found some place that put together the Eastern, the Western, all of the teachings of the wise people. And so I took it all in, learning to love Buddha, Ganesha, and all of that, and learning to do mantra and song and invoking light. The only thing that was missing for me is I didn't understand, well, where was the African part?
Yeah.
So that took me on another journey to find that, going to Oshogbo and being initiated to Oshun.
So you went to Africa. And what was that like?
2008. It was joyous, like coming here. Just a feeling of being home, glad I made it back. And I always sing and dance and say, ha ha, you sent us away, but we're here. We found our way back. So I always feel like there's these little hints. And if we're silent enough, meditative enough, because I'm also a Zen practitioner, and Zen helped me find that little space that's no space, that place that's nowhere, that if we ascend, that's where we ascend to. So I'm exploring that, the overcoming of sin, disease, and death, which feel like illusions that we've all been forced to accept through the traumas. So visiting places where there have been traumas, like the Cathar or violence, I asked Saint Germain, and we use violet flame to transmute some of that energy. So society doesn't have to keep repeating these traumatic experiences, that we can work through them, above them, around them, and bring in the new day. Bring in the new day that all the hippies and everybody is like dancing for.
And what do you think you can advise for the younger generations from your wisdom?
I think to have confidence in yourself, because it seems the world is there to say, this is not you, this is not you, this is not you, which may be very true. So you go inside to that place where there's this room, this interior castle that they talk about, and take some time to sit there and be there and feel there and know it. Then there's not so much dependence on the outer knowing. And I do a lot of just listening, feeling, what does it feel like, whether it's a spirit or an energy that needs to be transmuted. So I attempt to not take personal, like I dislike this or I like that, but bring that balance into the heart and just let the energy do what we're all here to do.
Is creativity part of your spirituality?
That is. I mean, I like to make things that actually bring into the physical these other realms that we talk about. So I do immersive installations where I create a space for those alternative feelings to be. That people can come to an exhibit and they may learn about a story that, because it doesn't hit their intellectual level, it hits them like Shakespeare used to say, through all the, you go from the groundlings to the nobility. You're able to communicate to anybody that comes, you come in contact with.
Do you create your own prayers as well?
There's something new that's happening. 30, 40 years ago, I learned a lot of decrees through the teachings of the Ascended Masters. But now they just come in songs. So I have part of the old ones. One thing Mother used to say, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, is we must sing new songs. We must sing, because if we look at the words to the songs we sing, like the blues, we're invoking that. So the place, I try to sing songs that come out of the place, and dancing, moving the body gives things an opportunity to shift. When we sit still, it kind of stagnates. So that's what I'm learning in my 70s is keep jumping, keep moving. I feel like a snake shedding her skin. I was just excited that, oh my goodness, I showed up here. What? It has to mean something. A place I never heard of. A person I never knew. And I'm just amazed how spirit just pulls people together, even, through TikTok or whatever.
Would you like to say any inspiring words?
Well, I think my deepest inspiration is for women and girls. And it is our time to bring our viewpoint and our needs to the world. And we do it in a different way than men. I was around in the 60s, the hippies, women's liberation. It's time for that compassion. Being able to take the time to feel someone and not have a defense, but also know that you can invoke your protection. You don't have to be abused. You can invoke what you need to do your job, that everything you need to do, you have the tools. It's just going in and figuring out what they are. So I'm just like, women, do it, try it. It may be wrong. They may say you're wrong or you're bad, or uniting the sacred woman with the whore. All of those things, false dichotomies, false binaries. And I think women are just very good at it, because for me, our bodies change so much. I never could depend on knowing anything, because, through the cycles of our periods and having children and giving birth and our relationships with men that may have been oppressive or that are different, to live, we must flow through those in loving ourselves and not allowing ourselves to be oppressed any longer.